Well then, here we go again.
Hello fans of the Wheelchair Gang, Tom here, and welcome back to another video. And of course, it's about Jake Paul again. Yay! Now, but in all seriousness, there is one more thing about Jake Paul that I need to address. Well, two technically, but we'll get into that. As the title suggests, Jake Paul has faked his arrest to quote-unquote teach us a lesson.
Come on, please.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, Jake.
What, like, why not?
Turn around. We're here for Scottsdale. For your misdemeanor warrant. Come on. Turn around.
I feel so bad.
Get back, please. Get back. Get back.
Alright, my bad.
Like, it's a misdemeanor at the end of the day. I'm just tired of people trying to make an example of Jake Paul. Did you call Jed right now?
Yeah.
I got it. No, yeah, I got it. Have a good day. Thank you.
Wait, what is going on? What, bro? Come on, Thor.
You have to grab him.
Yeah.
Come on, Thor. So,
I think you should tell him.
tell him, bro. Just tell him, bro.
Yeah.
Tell him. Go, bro.
Yo, bro, how does it feel being the one getting pranked?
Yo, we got him, boys!
I'm just like so sick of like people trying to make a example out of Jake Paul. I still might go to jail.
Now, this isn't the first time he's done this, but it felt extremely disrespectful given the circumstances of why he was charged in the first place and how volatile everywhere is at the moment. You'd think he'd have the common sense to maybe not try and do a prank where he gets arrested, considering the seriousness of what he actually did. But nah. Jake Paul also did something a little bit more reprehensible to me personally. He took credit for someone else's fundraiser. During his quote-unquote apology for the looting, he had a link to a Black Lives Matter charity on the side where people could donate. Then he wrote on Twitter shortly afterwards that, oh, we've raised this much money, even though he had nothing to do with the fundraiser really other than linking it.
I want you guys to imagine something real quick, okay? Imagine you make a video about Black Lives Matter and you put a fundraiser and it raises around $32,000 within the first 3 days. Now imagine Jake Paul makes a video 3 days later and puts your fundraiser, that's me, the organizer. And then you go to Jake Paul's Twitter and you see that he's taken all the credit that you raised. And then you got people saying, I love you so much for doing this.
So as you can tell, Jake Paul has clearly not learned from the mistakes of joining in these protests. He's still just doing the same stuff as ever. I do find it quite reprehensible though that he chose this time to clickbait his own arrests and profit off of it. It just feels scummy, like you did something wrong and you know you did something wrong, which is why you're clickbaiting it, and now you're profiting off of it. It just doesn't sit right with me. Also, the fact that he took credit for a fundraiser that wasn't even his, and people defended him saying, what does it matter if he didn't raise the money? What matters is the money was raised. What I would say to you in response is, if you were in school and someone copied your work and that test result got an A, would you then be like, well, what does it matter who got the A? As long as somebody got the A, right? No, you wouldn't be saying that. So why is it okay for Jake Paul? I obviously know that that's a much smaller example, but you get what I mean. In any other circumstance, that just wouldn't make any sense. But because these are brainwashed Jake Paul fans, it somehow makes sense to them. Unfortunately, a lot of Jake Paul's fans are very young and impressionable and will take things at first glance. So if they see that Jake Paul has posted a charity on his page, they automatically assume he helped raise the money, which wasn't the case. And unfortunately, it's very difficult to convince them that it wasn't him because, again, they're brainwashed into thinking that he's this amazing guy when he really isn't. And for those of you saying, well, you're profiting off of this situation because you've made like 3 Jake Paul videos by now, none of them are monetized because they deal with sensitive topics, obviously the George Floyd protests. YouTube doesn't monetize these. But I'm not going to stop talking about it because I feel like it's relevant and important to point out the wrongdoers in these situations, especially when they're as high profile and as influential to millions of people as Jake Paul is. But that's all for today's video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to give it a like, comment down below your thoughts, and subscribe if you're new. I also now have a new Discord and a Reddit, and links to those will be in the description below. If you want to join in the discussion and talk about basically anything, then you can. Thank you for watching, everyone, and I will see you later.